I love talking about the rock bottom moments because those are the moments that are defining. And I would love if you wouldn't mind sharing some of the emotions that you felt in the rock bottom and sort of what was the time where it was like, I know you had the man in the mirror, but what was the time when it was like, wow, okay, this is not what I expected, but this is how I got here. And now I'm going to get out of it. I would just love to know the story behind it.
Yeah. So first of all, I was a very insecure person. Understanding that and recognizing that is really important, right? So, because when you do that, you end up trying. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I was trying to bring people down to my level. The people I love the most, I felt like crap about myself, so I wanted them to feel like crap too, and my actions, made that happen. My most powerful moment was my son's 5th birthday, and I just remember. A lot of it's a vague, but he wanted something specific for his birthday, and we had got it for him, but we gave him another. I'll never forget, it was a Spider-Man bike helmet. He loved Spider-Man when he was little. I gave it to him, and he's 5, and he was a little bit disappointed because it wasn't the thing that he wanted. And I literally flipped out and just lost it. And I had done that before, but this one moment, it was crazy. While I'm going through this, it was like, I could see myself and what I looked like. It was like I left my body and I could see myself through my kid's eyes. And I was horrified with what I saw. And so from that moment on, like that feeling, every day when I get up, I go back there. And that's what drives me every day to keep rocking and rolling and keep wanting to go so hard. So once you have that feeling, you got to use it. So they say success is great because it leaves clues. Awesome. So does failure. Right. Yes. So, and it's great. You actually don't learn by winning. You learn by losing. Right. So, but again, can you apply that? So have I lost my cool since then? Absolutely. Has it happened as many times? No. Does it happen very often? No. But when it does, I recognize it and I immediately apologize. That's something that I got to work on, and we all got stuff to work on.
We absolutely do. And I've had that moment as well. And it's a pretty scary moment to really bring yourself out of your body and look and see like, wow, the damage. What did I just do? What did I just say? It really is eye-opening. But like you said, this is how we learn. This is how we are not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. And you said something so imperative. When children hear and feel our apology, it really sets the stage that they're allowed to mess up. And that life is messy and even adults mess up and that's okay. And so I commend you for that because it's a big thing to do to apologize. I think it's such a leadership quality to embed in our younger generation.
If you don't admit when you're wrong, you are not indeed a leader. That is fact, right? So the best leaders have, again, if I'm wrong, this is what I just don't even care anymore. You know what I mean? I don't care what people think. I don't care when people get upset. Hey man, you feel that way. That's great. That's your feelings. It ain't fact. And if you want to talk about it more, but it just is what it is. I ain't perfect. I make mistakes. And like I hurt a family member's feelings the other day, not even meaning to. And it was like, oh my God, they told me how they felt. I was like, holy crap. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you felt that way. That's my bad. I'm sorry, but you either accept it or you don't. But I truly am sorry. But if you're still mad at me, okay.
Yeah, that's right. You just kind of have to allow people to have their emotions and their feelings, and our intentions can get misconstrued or we don't even know what we're saying. And it's okay. You could accept that apology or not.
I wish back in the day when Nick was playing, you guys would have met. You know what I mean? Like your mental skills, would have really helped a player like him.
Yeah.
My goodness. It was indeed. We didn't even know this stuff. We didn't think of it. This is all voodoo, hippie stuff, to eat clean. And like literally like baseball guys still to this day, like their goals in life is to get done with the game so they can drink beers. Like that, again, it's great. But like, then what? Like, is that literally, that's what God made one of you and that's it. So you can coach a baseball game and drink beers. That's it. That's your impact, baby.
That's the impact. I mean, but like back then, you as, the catcher and the captain of your team, like there was times where you got a little hot headed, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you didn't take losses, so well back then, right? Because I mean, he was like, there's a 20 to 80 scale, and there's the 80 competitor. He was like above the scale.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like wanted to win every game, every pitch, and then the losses like were.
Yeah, you got, and again, that's that drive. You got to learn to use that. That drive can kill you, but it could also take you to places you never dreamed of going.
No doubt.
That is so true.
I mean, you weren't, I mean, just to, be clear, I mean, you weren't like throwing helmets and, you know what I mean? Like you weren't like that, you know what I mean? And like, it was like, I remember talking to your dad. I'm like, Mick, we got to try to figure out how to like hone this in a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, let's get him into the cages. And when he's so angry, let's go swing more. And Mick's like, you get him in the cages. I was like, no, you go get him in the cages.
He created a monster.
It was awesome. And I'm sure Ethan's going to have equally as driven, and wherever his path is. I mean, it's, we're all going to be here to watch it and cheer him on and help, so it's going to be fun to watch what you create there, my friend.
Another monster. This one might have two heads.
Oh, well, that'll be fun to watch.
Oh yeah. We're going to make him Dominican.
Oh,
no, I'm joking. For the record, I'm joking.
Just if it's good, bottle it up and sell it. That's all I know.
That's exactly right. Like that energy, that kid energy, we want to bottle up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Growth. Love talking about growth. And as people and as leaders and entrepreneurs in this world, we always want to grow. We don't want to have this fixed mindset. So how do you challenge yourself to grow and expand and maybe push the limits of where you might limit your ability?
Well, that was somebody said that to me a long time ago, that, all the limits that you have, you have to push those because you are actually the one that set those limits, right? So every limit that somebody has, they're self-inflicted. And it's usually a subconscious decision that they were programmed at a long time ago. Like they don't even realize they do that. I ask a lot of people a lot. I'm like, when you get dressed, are you right leg first or left leg first, and why? And they don't know the answer. Like, how many times a day are you on autopilot and making 25,000 decisions you weren't even aware that you were making? And so many things affect those choices. I am crazy, still blown away at the power of the spoken word, right? I think I am are the most powerful two words in the English language. And whatever you follow those two words with, you actually believe. You asked me how I was doing today. I said, I'm unstoppable, right? That is my normal answer. Why? Because I get asked that question thousands of times a year. And am I going to reaffirm I'm just good? Yeah. Or am I going to reaffirm I'm unstoppable thousands of times a year out loud to somebody's eyeballs? Right. And over time, I believe it now. And now that I believe it, it's true.
Yes, it is. Oh, Nick, this is so good because you're creating this frequency inside your body. So even though the conscious mind might not believe it at first, you repeat it over and over and over again, and the energy sets in. And it's like, this is true.
What you focus on grows. Yeah. What you focus on grows. And a bad day is a choice. And usually a bad day is one or two things bad happen, but that's out of 100 or 1,000 things that happened to you today. You just focus on the one or the two. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Isn't it so funny how we fixate on those things? And that's, in the world of sports too, I see a lot of players, right? They fixate on the judgment. And I said, how many times has someone said something awesome to you this week or just today? Do you even remember? And we push it out like it doesn't mean anything. And why is it so much more important that we take in the negative and yet we push away this positive? And nobody can ever give me an answer. And they're like, you know what? You're right. I'm not listening to the good. Yeah. I'm only hearing the bad.
We got to be careful, even as society, all these things that we're entitled to. You can't be grateful for something that you're entitled to, right? So and at the end of the day, gratitude is it's the ultimate deciding factor of your mood. You know what I mean? Can you be in a bad mood if you're grateful? I don't think so. So, and at the end of the day, my buddy Brad said something that was so profound. You guys will love this. He was like, he asked this dude, he was like, how old are you? The kid was like 25. He said, so will you know more at 35 than you do at 25? And the kid was like, Yeah. It was like, all right, cool. And then when you're 45, will you know more at 45 than you did at 35? He was like, yeah. He's like, and then 55, will you know more at 55, 45? He's like, so at the end of the day, a new day is the ultimate gift. And there's two types of new days. Waking up is a new day, but a new day is actually just doing something you haven't done before. Doing something new is a new day. And those are the ultimate gifts. When you look, those are usually the things that you remember. And when you have kids and you get swamped at work and all these things, time speeds up. And I think that's where a lot of the holidays came from, because like that's all you stop. And those are the chapters in your life each year is the holiday. I remember Christmas last year. I couldn't tell you what I did on, what's today's date? July 9th of last year. You know what I mean? Unless I look at my calendar and I track it, which is also very important. We're teaching my son to time block. So if you want to know if my son wants to know what he did on this day last year, he can go back and tell you, because he time blocked the whole entire day and looked at it. But as time just speeds up and you have so many more things to do, it's being aware of those moments and being grateful for all things that are new, which, by the way, if it's comfortable, it can't be new. Right. So,
That's
and there is no
exactly right.
growth in comfort and being comfortable. Right. So again, the greatest gift that you get is a new day, and a new day is a new experience.